श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। गुरवे सर्वलोकानां विशेषे गुरुगणां निधिः सर्वविद्यानां श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभः निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। शुक्लाम्बरधरं विष्णुं शिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। व्यासं मष्टनप्तारं शक्ते पौत्रमकरमशुम्भराशरात्मजं वन्दे जगदानं तपोनिधिं। व्यासाय विष्णुरूपाय व्यासरूपाय विष्णवे नमो वै ब्रह्मणदे वासिष्ठाय नमो नमः। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्. So at Kaurava's assembly, Krishna was there. He suggested his peace proposal, and after that, all the assembled rishis and everybody, they were trying to convince Duryodhana to accept that peace process. And as through that, Karna was explaining that strength alone, what one thinks one has, is not good enough. Strength could be deceptive. And he was trying to say there are other strengths, not just one can have in the arm. More than that, there is other strength like religious merit and other things, which is more powerful than physical strength. So he was saying Pandavas have that through austerities and things. He was giving an example as through that story, explaining Matali's story of finding a son-in-law for him. So Matali was looking for son-in-law for his daughter, trying to marry her off named Gunakeshi, and he searched everywhere. He could not find anybody, so he decided to go to Patala and there find a bridegroom. And on his way, he caught up with Narada, and both of them went there searching. Narada was explaining him all the wonderful things they see on that Patala, and he was explaining the Varuna's Loka, and then he also explained, introduced Airavata and his brothers who were born there, and then he took Matali and showed him the egg, the what we call the initial egg that's created from that all the creatures and everything that's created. So he showed that this egg, this is the with all the beauty, at the creation started through this egg, and it does not move, it does not burst. Never heard anybody speaking of its birth or nature or anything like that. Nobody knows who its father or mother is. And it is said when the world comes to an end, mighty fire comes out of this from this and spreads and consumes all the three worlds. And with all the everything gets burnt and everything gets destroyed. And then he says, look, if there is any bridegroom here who might be suitable for you, for your daughter, and who is possessed of any superior merits and things like that. And Matali looks around and says, nobody here seems to be eligible. Let's go. So further without any delay. And Narada continues, then he says, look here, the spacious and celebrated city called Hiranyapura. And here previously, this belongs to Daityas and Danavas. We heard about Hiranyapura previously, right? Anyone remembers? We heard in Vanaparva. Okay, I will give 2 more minutes for you to recollect memory. So he introduces Hiranyapura and says this is belong to Daityas and Danavas. It's all built. It was built by Maya, Danava called Maya, and it is in this region. This is the best place, and it is of great celebrated place, and with all type of illusions. And we know about Maya's creation, right? So in early in Adi Parva, we saw about the palace he built for Yudhishthira, right? In Khandavaprastha, he converted that into Indraprastha with this specially skilled palace. And similarly, Hiranyapura is one of that, which is nothing. It is much better than like the one Indra had, or Yama, Varuna, Kubera, all of them had. So there, Narada introduces the Danavas called Kalajangas, who took birth from Vishnu, and the Rakshasas called Yatudanas, who came from the feet of Brahma. And they are all having frightful teeth, terrible strength, and speed, prowess, all those things, and also power of Maya, illusion. And then there are Danavas called Nivadakavachas, and who are again invincible in battle, who have their who've been living there. And Narada tells Matali that you know that even Indra was unable to defeat them. Many times you as a charioteer with your son Gomukha and Indra with his son came here and had to turn back because he could not defeat those Nivadakavachas and destroy this Hiranyapura. He came here many times and went back. So you know all about those people. So these homes are made with silver and gold and decorated with all sort of art and everything. All these mansions have special corals and special things called Arka Spatika, which and also gems called Vajrasara. And these palaces again have a special gem called Padmaraga, so which is of or bright marble, which is made of excellent wood, and all these things they're like blazing like sun and fire. So all these things are here, and he shows all those mansions and the Daityas, Danavas who reside in those places. Narada introduces and explains all of them to Matali. So anyone remember now Nivatakavachas, Hiranyapura? Okay. So when Arjuna, just recap, flashback here. So when Arjuna went to heaven, right, to acquire all the weapons, when they were in the forest and Arjuna went there, after getting all the weapons from Indra, he offered Guru Dakshina. And Indra said, if you want to help, go and defeat those, kill those Nivatakavachas, right? So Arjuna as a Guru Dakshina, as Matali as his charioteer, he went and he killed all those Nivatakavachas, Danavas, destroyed all those Nivatakavachas, and on his way back, he destroyed Hiranyapura, right? So which Indra was not able to destroy. So that incident, Arjuna did it. So what Narada is explaining here to Matali is long way back. Okay, so before that incident, so even before Mahabharata and Pandavas and everyone were born. So this is Matali trying to find a bridegroom. Okay, so at that time, Nivatakavachas were there, Hiranyapura was there. So Narada explains this, and then he says, see all these retreat of Daityas, their sporting ground, their pleasure grounds, where they sleep, all those costly utensils, precious stones, and all these things they have. And see if any bridegroom here that may be acceptable to you. If no one can be found, then we will go from here to other parts of this world. So Matali says that you know that I can't do anything disagreeable to Indra, because if I find a bridegroom here among Daityas and Danavas whom Indra is trying to destroy, and I work for Indra, right? So I'm the charioteer, so I can't have those things. So I can't, if Indra's enemies are my enemies as well, so I can't make alliance with our enemies. And that's why take me to some other place. Again, you know, in our heart, again, in your heart, you always look for quarrels. So setting me up for this bridegroom from this Daityas and Danavas, you want me to have a quarrel with Indra, but I'm not going to have that. So let's move somewhere else. Narada says, okay, let's go. Then he introduced the region of birds, okay, whom all of them having excellent feathers. And he says that they live on snakes, eating snakes. They live on that, and they never feel any fatigue or anything like that. They can make journeys across all the worlds, and their race was multiplied from the 6 sons of Garuda. And those sons are Sumukha, Sunaman, Sunetra, Suvarcha, Shaunaj, and Subala. So these all again from Kashyap's race, because Garuda is Kashyap's son. So from all of them, Kashyapa and Vinata's race, they all, many thousands of them children are born, and thousands of them are living there. And all of them are having great prosperity and have Srivatsa mark on their chest, mark in them. And all of them are inspired, all of them are great devotees of Vishnu as well. And but because they live on the snakes, and because of that, they never attain spiritual enlightenment, uh, because they live on subsist, eat their own kinsmen, their own relatives, their own brothers. So that's why they never attain those spiritual enlightenment. And but Vishnu has shown his favor on them, and they all worship Vishnu, and they are Vishnu, consider Vishnu as their protector. Vishnu always dwells in their heart, and Vishnu is their refuge. So, having said that, Narada says again, he introduces many more of them. So, names of those birds that's there among those thousands of birds that's there. Okay, Suvarna Chuda, Nagasi, Dharana, Chanda, Tundaka, Anala, Vaishalaksha, Kundali, Pankajit, many more. Okay, Vainataya, Vamana, all these birds that were there from Garuda's lineage, all of them were introduced, and those sons of Garuda are only small number of them, and there are many of them that I haven't even introduced. All of them have one distinction in their strength, fame, achievements, all those things. So, Matali, if it doesn't look like you are happy with any of these people, so let's go somewhere else. Okay, and find a eligible husband for your daughter. So with that, Narada takes Matali to Rasatala, which is the seventh world below Earth. Okay, below Bhuloka, it is the seventh world, and he says, Narada says that here lives Surabhi, the mother of all the cows, and she was born of Amrita. She always gives milk, which is essence of best things of the earth, and which is also excellent as it is of taste, and it is essence of six kinds of tastes of that are talked about. So all type of tastes available in that milk, and it is that from that Surabhi in the olden days, from again the olden uh, from the she again came from the mouth of Brahma himself, and by and she was gratified by drinking Amrita and vomiting those that Amrita. So again, uh, a single jet of that milk created Ksheerasagara, Milky Ocean was created from that, and that's from that Milky Ocean, foams come in the form of waves. When the waves comes, there is a foams are formed, and a set of rishis survive by drinking those foams. And those rishis again, they never get old, and because of drinking those things, and they are even devatas fear those rishis. Then he introduces uh, the sons, the other cows born of that Surabhi, and those sons protect four directions, and they are called Dikpalis. So in the eastern quarter, there is one called Surapa, and and the one that supports the southern quarter is called Hansika, and the one that supports the western quarter, which is ruled by Varuna, is called Subhadra, and the one that's in the northern quarter, which is of Kubera's world region, is called Sarvakamatudha. So these are the four that Dikpalis that rule the that are in the station, the four quarters, supporting the four quarters. And Devatas, when uniting with Asuras, uh, making Mandara mountain as their pole, churned the water of that Ksheerasagara. Wine called Varani came there, and then Lakshmi Amrita came there. Ucheshravas, the horse, came there. Kaustubha Mani came there. The gem called Kaustubha came there. Among those waters also came these four cows. These four Dikpalis came. Again, Surabhi, the milk she yielded becomes Swaha in the sacrifices that offer to Devadas, and Swada in the sacrifices that offer to Pitrus. Again, and Amrita and those that live on the Amrita. So Devatas, the milk from Surabhi becomes Amrita for Devatas. It becomes Swaha for offered in the sacrifices for Devatas and Swada in the Pitrus. Again, Narada sings a small shloka which is sung in all the worlds, which says that effectively that there is nothing like the world of Rasatala. The happiness that one finds in Rasatala is not equal to anywhere, even the Nagas or Sarga or anywhere. Such a world is there that's as good as Rasatala. Then he says the best of the cities, he takes him to city named by the name of Bhogavati, and that is ruled by Vasuki, the snakes. So from Surabhi's world, he goes to Rasatala, he goes to Bhogavati, there he sees Vasuki's world, and he says that Shesha lives here, and because of, and he is the one who supports Earth with his thousands of heads, and all his tongues are blazing flames like fire. It fires blazing flames, and he has such a huge strength. And there also in that world lives a lot of Nagas, the sons of Surasa. They all having different diverse forms, and having large different types of ornaments and gems, and having swastika and circles around them, on them. And then also they all have, by nature, they are all of great strength, and some of them have 1,000 heads, some of them have 500, and some have 3, some have 2, some 5, some even have 7 faces and things like that. So different type number of heads, all of them having huge bodies like mountains, and millions and tens and millions of them have lived there in that race. So again, Narada explained some of the names. Again, some of these names have come through in Adi Parva as well. Okay, because when we discussed about the names of the Nagas born to Kadru, all these names came there as well. So Vasaki, Takshaka, Karkotaka, Dhananjaya, Kaliya, Nahusha, Ashwarata, Vakyakunda, Mani, Apurna, Khaga, Vamana, Yelapatra, Kukura, Kukuna, Aryaka, Nandaka, Kalasha, Potaka, Kalilasaka, Pinjaraka, Airavata, Sumanmukha, Datimukha, Shankha, Nanda, Upananda, Atta, all these. Okay, so many thousands of them were there, and Narada calls out some of the main of them, and then he says that all of these are prominent among the that sons of Kashyapa. So see if anyone here you think you can elect as a son-in-law or a husband for your daughter Gunakeshi. Matali, looking at all of them attentively, he looks at one person who stood there. And after Narada has speaking and telling about introducing all those people, Matali's eyes were always on one boy that's standing there, one Naga boy standing there. And he tells Rishi, what race this son has come from, this boy has come from, who stands next to Aryaka, who is of Kaurava race, line, who's standing next to Aryaka. Who is this boy, and who is his father, who is his mother, and what Naga race he is. And again, he stands such a tall, and his constant intelligence, patience, beauty, youthfulness, all these things make my heart thinks that he probably is the right person for my daughter Gunakeshi. So tell me who he is. And seeing Matali's happiness, Narada introduces, he tells him that and the Naga, that boy's name called Sumukha, and Narada informs him that his parentage and great things, and he says that he is born in the race of line of Airavata, and he is this. His name is Sumukha, and he is this grandson of Aryaka. That's why he's standing next to Aryaka, and he's mother is daughter of Vamana, and the father of this Naga, Sumukha's Naga, is called Sumukha is called father of Sumukha is called Chikura. Okay, so he's grandson of Arika. So Arika's son is Chikura, Chikura's son is Sumukha, and he comes from Airavata's line. So, but Narada says that Chikura was recently killed by Vinata's son. So Garuda killed him, Chikura, recently, because as we heard just before, looked at just before, Garuda and his children live on eating these snakes. So Chikura was recently killed by Garuda for his food. So hearing this, Matali becomes very pleased about that race. Okay, he has come from Airavata race and his Arika's grandson and all the good things. So he becomes pleased and he says that this one is acceptable to me as my son-in-law. Please do everything so that this Naga takes my daughter as his wife. So Narada then says, okay, this introduces thinking that Narada okay agrees to it, and he tells Arika that this one is charioteer by the name of Matali, and he is dear friend of Indra. He is pure in conduct. He has excellent job, disposition, and he is possessed of numerous virtues, and his great strength of mind, and he has great energy, great might, and he is the friend and counselor of and charioteer of Indra himself, and he has seen many battles, and he's been victorious, and for he's bringing the victory for Indra in all those battles, and purely by mind he controls those thousands of horses Indra's chariot is drawn by, and that Matali is again uh, was charioteer when Indra defeated all those asuras previously. So again, Matali has an excellent daughter, and beauty is unrivaled in this whole world. She is truthful and having all the accomplishments. She is very known by the name called Gunakeshi. And Matali came here searching in all the three worlds for an eligible bridegroom. Your grandson Sumukha is acceptable to him. So you he addressing Aryaka, Narada says that his proposal, please accept his proposal and make this alliance very quick. Just as Lakshmi in the house of Vishnu and Swaha in the house of Agni, Gunakeshi will become a wife in your race. So that's why accept Gunakeshi as a daughter-in-law of your house and as a wife to Sumukha. So Narada says that even though this Sumukha has lost his father, yet we choose him. Matali chooses him because of his virtues and respectability of Airavata and of your own. So Narada does all the good words, saying that you are also of great race and this alliance is fit. So again, look how Narada makes this alliance. He explains the greatness of Matali, not just Matali, explaining what his work is, who he has alliances with, that is Indra, and all the great things about Matali has done by becoming a charioteer of Indra, what his great things done. Then he explains Matali's daughter, saying all the qualities she has and how good she is, and she could be like Lakshmi of your house. And then he says, that's our side. Now you are looking at your side. Again, even though this boy has lost his father, all of you are respectable. Airavata, yourself, everybody is respectable. And that's why Matali wants to give his daughter to your son, your grandson. So when Narada addresses that, Aryaka, looking at his son, grandson, Sumukha, and he becomes happy as well as becomes sad. And he remembers death of his own son, and he becomes very sad. So he tells Narada that how can I desire to have Gunakeshi as my daughter-in-law? It cannot happen. But at the same time, I am not brave enough to reject what the alliance that's especially proposed by you and Indra's friend. So it is very difficult for me. My son was recently killed by Garuda, and we are still in the sorrow of that death. And worst thing is, Garuda has also set a time for uh, this grandson, Sumukha. He has said before, when he killed my son, he also told that after a month I will kill this Sumukha as well. Surely this will happen, and you have to deal with that. So as saying that Sumukha has Garuda has left last time, taking my son. Now surely he will come after a month. So knowing that Sumukha is going to die in a month through the hands of Garuda, how can I take Gunakeshi as my daughter-in-law? So that's my problem. So Arika says that that's my challenge. Listening to this, Matali says that I have a plan. So your grandson is elected by me as son-in-law. So let Sumukha, Narada, and myself, we all go to Indra and we are seek Indra's help. So we will do everything to stop Garuda taking your son Sumukha as his food for the next time. So we'll try to protect Sumukha. So please agree to this. And saying this, the Areka agrees to that proposal. Then taking Sumukha with them, all four of them, they come to Indra. And seeing Indra, they seated in his glory. Along with that, at that time, it happens that Vishnu was also along present there. And Narada then told them all the story, what happened. So we went looking for Gunakeshi, a husband, all over the place. And finally, Matali selected this Sumukha as his son-in-law. But then Arika told us that now Garuda has selected this Sumukha as his food in a month's time. So you only need to help us. So looking at that, Vishnu directs or tells Indra, do one thing, give Amrita to this Sumukha. So once he drinks Amrita, he cannot be killed. So he will survive, he will not die. So give him that. Then Indra thinks about this. He knows Garuda's strength, and also he knows that Vishnu told him to give Amrita to Sumukha, right? So we know Garuda and Indra's story, right? Anyone remembers from Adi Parva? No. Okay. So go back to Adi Parva. Look for when Garuda was born. Okay. So Garuda was born and Vinata became Kadru's slave. Garuda's mother Vinata became Kadru's slave. Kadru is the mother of snakes, right? So Garuda wanted to rescue his mother, so he went to get Amrita from Indra, right? So when he went there, he had to fight Indra and defeat Indra, and that Indra threw his Vajrayuda against Garuda, and nothing happened. Garuda, a small feather fell off from his body, right? And then Indra and Garuda became friends and things like that. So remembering all those things that happened, Indra now thinks that if I become enemy of Garuda, Garuda is not going to leave me freely, right? So he says, he looks at Vishnu. Vishnu is telling him, give Amrita, and he tells that you give him the Amrita. Okay, I'm okay. You give him the Amrita because you can deal with Garuda, not me. So then Vishnu tells him that all the mobile and everything is under your control. Who is there that would refuse to a gift that made by you? If you give him the Amrita, who is going to refuse? And then you have all the strength. So Vishnu again trying to play the game here, not to become a problem, not to get into this between Indra and Garuda. He says, you give the Amrita, you give him, because nobody is going to refuse anything or object anything what you have done. Nobody has that strength. So saying this, Indra then thinks about it, what to do. So, but he did not give him Amrita, but what he does is he gives a boon to Sumukha of a long life. Okay. So Sumukha, having obtained that boon from Indra of blessings and protection from Indra, that he will have a long life. So Sumukha becomes really happy. He really became Sumukha. Sumukha means happy face, right? So he became real happy, and then he marries Matali's daughter, Gunakeshi, and returned home. And Narada and Arika also were very became filled with very happiness, because whatever they wanted to do, this marriage of Matali's daughter and Sumukha happened. They all became happy, and they all worshipped Indra for his help. Meanwhile, Garuda heard about all these things, whatever happened, and Shakra, Indra's boon to Sumukha, and he became very angry. With anger, he came to Indra and he said, disregarding me, why you have interfered in my food? You have granted a boon of your own will. Why do you now? What are you going to do now? So Brahma has given me snakes as my food. He has told me that snakes are my food, and I was planning to eat this Sumukha next time, but now you have given him the boon that he's going to have a long life. So how can I kill him? If I don't kill him, I can't. I'm going to go hungry. All my children and everybody going to go hungry. So we are all going to die. So how can I kill a species which you have said that going to have a long life? So why are you playing these sports with me? Why are you playing like this with me? Just as you think it is good, why are you doing all this? So Garuda becomes very angry and he comes and says, so I have to die with all my family, servants, and everybody, all my household, everybody has to die now because we are going to go hungry. I was planned to eat this Sumukha, now we can't eat. So again, he says that I am no inferior to you, but you have all the things, and I am being servant of Vishnu. I'm being considered as a servant of Vishnu. Because of that, I'm considered, because of that, that's the only my inferiority I have. And otherwise, I'm equal to you, but still, three worlds ruling is with you and not with me. And it's known that we both are Daksha's daughters married are our mothers, and Kashyapa is our father. So Vinata is my mother, Aditi is your mother. So both are Kashyapa's wives and Daksha's daughters, right? So we all cousin brothers, and I'm equal or superior than you. The only reason I am considered as inferior is because I'm a servant of Vishnu. And that's the only reason. And that's why I'm restricted like this. And in the previously, when the war took place with Daityas, I have achieved great things as well. Shrutasar, Shritashri, Shrutasena, Vishuvat, Rochanamukha, Prashrura, Kalakaksha, all these Daityas were killed by me. Diti's sons, they were all killed by me. And by staying on Vishnu's flagstaff, I protect Vishnu in the battle. And whenever he wishes, I carry him all over the place, right? So Vishnu using me as a vehicle, I take him wherever he wants. But still, you disregard me. O Indra, you are disregarding me by giving that boon. So who else is there in this entire universe who can bear all these heavy things on the back? Who is stronger than myself? Who is superior? Even though I'm superior, yet I on my back I carry your brother Vishnu, and with all his friends and everybody, I carry on them on my back. So again, disregarding me, you have interfered with my food, and you have inflicted disgrace on me. like your younger brother Vishnu, you have disregarded and disgraced me. And again, then he looks at Vishnu and says that among all the people having strength and prowess and everything, again, that are born of Aditis, among all the Adityas, you are superior in strength. But still, I carry you without any fatigue, without any pain or anything. I carry you on one of my feathers. Forget about entire body. I carry you on one of my feathers. Okay. So Garuda telling Vishnu that I carry you so easily, coolly I carry you wherever you want with all your friends and everybody. So tell me who is strong. So hearing these great words from Garuda, from challenging Indra and then Vishnu, because he lost his food, Vishnu thinks about this and says, you are, though you are very weak, why do you yet make all these strong statements? Why do you make all these statements? It doesn't make you great by doing this. So three words united cannot lift me, my body. So why you are making all these great things? So come now, take this weight of my right arm alone, and if you can bear that my right arm alone, then you can you can say every word, all the words that you are stronger than everybody. Okay. So saying this, Vishnu places his right arm on Garuda's shoulder. Immediately, Garuda fell down. With that weight, he could not take and he became unconscious. And after a little while, he regained his consciousness, and that because of that weight of Vishnu's right arm alone, it felt like entire earth with all the mountains and everything came on his shoulder. And that strength with that Vishnu's, but Vishnu did not crush him because of he knew Garuda so well. He did not crush, and he was very kind. So Garuda, having taken that all that weight, he was struggling to breathe, and every part of his body weakened and utterly confounded. Garuda, almost deprived of his senses, he started addressing Vishnu. He says that again, bent down his with his head bent down. He praises Vishnu again. Your strength, you sustain all the words, and without knowing, I did these silly things. I said all these silly things. So forgive me for that. He asked for that. So utterly hopeless, I did that. So Vishnu again says that don't ever do this kind of things. And then saying this, so he gives Sumukha to uh, uh, Garudas, and Garuda then had a good friendship with Sumukha, and they lived like that. So Kanva concludes this story explaining to Duryodhana that even like that, you also think that you have huge strength. Like Garuda, you think you have so much strength, but don't think like that. The strength you see may be different. Even though Garuda used to carry Vishnu, Vishnu's one right arm he could not hold. Okay, so people may be looking weak, but they're not actually weak. So you have Bhima, who is Vayu's strength, and Arjuna, Indra's strength, and Dharma is there. Vishnu himself is there on the Pandava side, so nobody can defeat. That Krishna is there, who holds discus, that chakra and gada, and they are there. So all this, what story I told you, was witnessed by Narada himself. So don't think that Pandavas are weak. So that's why take this proposal of peace proposed by Krishna. Duryodhana starts laughing at whatever Kanva said, and he says that whatever is going to happen is going to happen. I'm not worried about Pandavas, whatever, let it happen. And he starts with that, he starts laughing loudly at Kanva's words. We'll take stop there and we'll look at what happens in Guru Assembly next time.